Good morning. Dogs are up. This is my buddies and my dad. And it's impossible to hold the camera on the pictures while I read the words, but I'm going to figure that out. I have to suspend the camera over the table. I have to build something. Anyway, here's chapter two, my second start to this book. I ran away with the circus. So I'm just going to read. Tough. So here's another start to the book. Here, I'm writing. You see, this was originally for Rob and then Jeremy, my sons. We had them and I, and have our own language with, it seems, a million inside jokes. We had and have a facial expression language. Volumes can be conveyed with the raise of an eyebrow or both, and then answered by the same brow moved back, which concurs. This book will also be for my dear old close friends, the boys, if you will, Larry, Gomez, and Spider, if you will. Of course, I will. See that kind of humor with them. Yeah, see, again. They and I also have our own language with many insides. And I love starting sentences with the word and. And this book is for my life partner, Lee, who I love and adore, and who affords me to sit on this beautiful couch in this beautiful house in this beautiful subtropic southern state with my two charges, the Maltese pups. We also have our own language, but they can't read. Because of her, my partner, and my plan of fleeing the cold north and moving to the less hectic and crowded locale, I'm in the position, the recliner, to have the time to write these million words. Really, start counting. Thank you, darling. We make a great team, enjoying great weather, good food, a beautiful house, traveling. Just great, perfect. So, also love starting a sentence with so. So, see? And I like speaking to you privately in these parentheses, of which there's a million. Tough. The whole book should be in parentheses. It's how I write. If you don't like it, put this book down because it's going to go on and on and on because I'm talking to my sons in my language. They can translate. And y'all are just reading over my shoulder. Hi. I took a memoir writing seminar at our local library. Nice people alert. There I learned at 59 and a half years old that a memoir is about an event of one's life and an autobiography is about the whole life. And there's something new called creative nonfiction about creative nonfiction, which this seems is going to be a little of all three of, I think, memoirish. These hundreds of stories of my life, pre-circus, circus, post-circus, who talks like this? WTLT, who talks like this? Yo, I in Spanish, Pedro Morales. Dad used to love when Pedro broke into Spanish in interviews on TV, wrestling shows in the 70s. It's not my autobiographical because I'm alive yet, not funny. And it's very creative nonfiction because I'm nuts, you see? See? Okay, good first word of sentences too. Okay, so we're all straight here. This will be a long, long, long ass book, maybe several unabashed ramblings. I like that. Infested with further parenthesized ramblings of a almost 60-year-old man who as a teen ran away with the circus. And he's telling his sons about it. Begin. Finally. Okay. Bathroom break, relocate, riding to garage so I can smoke. So, to the memories of my son, Robert Mayer, who we lost too early 2 years ago, and to my son, Jeremy, who gets me more than anyone. and who I'm passing these stories down to so he can pass them down to hopefully future generations of our family. Hint, hint. Come on, Rave. Inside of jokes. Tough. I'm not explaining them anymore. I wrote Jared a letter a day while he was away on a 14-month vacation. 93 letters, which is weird because that's what we call his residence, 93. This will be letter number 94. This will be the longest letter ever. Some of those classic letters had classic cartoons by me. Can't figure out how to do that here, but will and did. Dear Jer, Brill, why didn't I think of this beginning to the book earlier? Why? Billy Durler, Gomez, Gurr. Dear Jer, it's been a long time since I've written you and rock and roll. A few months since I've written to you recently, several years since our 14-month run. But we text daily, and I love that. Here's the story I needed to tell you, and Rob. Begin again. Breakfast first, see? Cornflakes and fruit. Gluing some shells. After some household issues, dishwasher and dog walking, and a nice phone combo with Sedja, I'm back. Flip the art project and glue more, shells drying, always have something drying, classic multitasking. This book is going to be a part journal also. I was studying Sheriff Andy Taylor word on what tense to write in here, past, present, future, and I figured maybe perhaps, Bobby A. word, I would write it from the present about the past and how that's going to help us get to where we're going. Future, get it? No, go, get it? Billy Durla, Gomez. Ironic double meaning advice there. Go get it. Just saying. I thought to pick a point in my past where I had a lot of mind time, BA. BA means I just came up with that and claim it. Copyrights, blah, blah, blah. Somebody else will use it somewhere and I will see it and say, hey, to myself. Happens all the time. Here in Boz, B-O-Z, get it? So when I ran away with the circus at 17, great song at 17, we drove from Pleasantville, New Jersey, 7 miles outside of Atlantic City, New Jersey, all the way, I mean all the friggin' way to Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. What the frig in Canada? Anybody have a map? A lot of miles. I have a dumb phone. So I drove along in a 30-foot camper with the fifth wheel, look it up, to pull a 40-foot circus show on wheels. Giant side panels folded down and up and out to make the prison show. Was a glorified cargo trailer, customized stairs led paying customers up and into the cheesy, hokey, not so scary exhibits of the horrors of capital punishment. Nice. The agony of the guillotine, the Barker tape barked, the doom of the hangman's noose, etc. Mannequins, heads, fake blood. Nothing moved. Laugh out loud. Most people were dissatisfied. Laugh out loud. Not my show. I just worked there. And it was the carnival at the state fair, and some people expected to get taken a little bit. Those cool people came out, chuckled for 50 cents or a buck. Haha, no big deal. I learned quickly how to deal with many perspectives of this, like the people that complained. So anyways, to have the honor of doing that in several Canadian locations and then the States, I had to drive this huge 3-axle, split axle, look it up, 18 or something gears, 2 gas tank rig for hours and hours, for days and days. BA. I don't think it had a radio. AM if it did. Random reception in bumfrigged Saskatchewan, I'm sure. But I remember singing a lot and thinking a lot at the same time sometimes. So that would be a good time to think of how I'd gotten to there, because so much has happened after that, blah, blah, blah. So, how did your father, get to be 17? Well, it all started millions of years ago when the first lungfish took its first step on dry land, those bastards. 14 something billion years ago after the Big Bang hoax. Haha, it's true. I beg your pardon. Inside joke. That was one of the chapter twos. Stand by for the next chapter two. Yes, there's more than one chapter two. Tough.